You're just standing there in the shower, maybe washing your arm or rubbing a sore spot on your shoulder after a long day.
Right.
And your fingers brush against something that definitely wasn't there last week.
Oh, that instant drop in your stomach.
Exactly. It's this soft, slightly rubbery little lump right under your skin. And naturally, your mind it races to the darkest possible place right away.
Of course it does. Because we're wired to panic when our body changes like that.
So you make the doctor's appointment.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting on that crinkly paper on the exam table, just sweating, waiting.
It's holding your breath.
Yeah. And the doctor comes in, does a quick check, smiles, and says, oh, that's just a fatty lump. Totally fine. Nothing to worry about. Just watch it.
Which is, that is the ultimate exhale moment.
It really is.
Hearing that it's nothing serious is literally the only thing you care about in that specific second.
But then you drive home, and the relief sort of fades into this quiet confusion.
Yeah.
Because you're left with this weird, trapped little pocket of fat that your body just built.
Completely on its own.
Right. Without you asking it to. And the general response is just a shrug, like, oh, it happens, watch it, or we can cut it out.
Which feels so incomplete, doesn't it?
It really does. I've always wondered about this. Why does a human body, out of nowhere, just decide to build a random lump of fat and lock it away?
It's such a beautiful question.
Yeah.
Because treating it like a random, meaningless skin glitch, it kind of ignores how deeply smart our bodies actually are.
Right.
These little lumps, they aren't just mistakes. They are actually physical clues. They tell us exactly what is happening in the hidden spaces of our tissue.
I always just thought fat was fat. Like it's just this passive storage unit where we put extra energy.
That's what we're all taught, like a biological checking account.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not the whole story at all. Fat cells are alive. They are active.
Yeah.
They send out hormones. They talk to your immune system. And they're constantly feeling out the space around them.
Feeling for what, though?
For stress. For swelling.
Oh,
for anything that feels toxic or out of balance.
Okay, so when this lump forms, it's actually doing something on purpose.
Yes. Think about the lump itself. It's not just a loose pile of fat. It's wrapped up. The body literally builds a thick wall around it.
Like a little bubble.
Like a quarantine zone.
Oh, wow. A quarantine zone.
Exactly. When a group of these cells starts growing fast and building a wall around itself, it's not doing it for fun. It's reacting. The local tissue is stressed out, and the body is trying to contain the mess.
Okay, that makes so much sense, but what exactly is the mess? What triggers that quarantine in the first place?
Well, it starts with this constant low-level swelling in the body,
Mm-hmm.
the kind we don't even feel anymore.
You mean like the stress we just carry around every day?
Right. And at a cellular level, your immune system is sending out these tiny messenger signals. They don't just float away. They stick right to the outside of the fat cells.
And tell a fat cell to do what?
They change the rules. Normally, cells live, they do their job, and they have a natural clearing out process when they get old.
Like taking out the trash?
Yes. But when those stress signals stick to the fat cell, it stops clearing out, gets confused, and starts growing. But, and this is key, the stress signals alone usually aren't enough to build a whole lump.
It needs something else.
It needs a push, a growth signal.
Which brings us to sugar, right? Or rather, insulin.
You nailed it. Insulin is a growth hormone.
I feel like we only ever hear about insulin when we talk about blood sugar or energy crashes.
Right, but its main job is to tell things to grow and store.
Yeah.
When we live on coffee and quick carbs, or we're just under a ton of pressure at work, our insulin runs high.
So the body is just flooded with this growth signal.
Exactly. Your tissues are soaking in it. So you have these fat cells that are already stressed out, and now they're getting drenched in fertilizer.
Oh, that paints quite a picture.
It does, right? It just forces them to grow and multiply.
But wait, if insulin is flowing through the whole body and stress is everywhere, why does the lump only happen in one spot? Like just on the back of the arm or the shoulder?
Because of how our body clears out the trash, the natural waste system.
The lymph system.
Yes, the lymphatic flow.
Which is funny because I feel like I only think about my lymph nodes when I have a sore throat.
Most of us do, but it's actually this massive whole body network. It's the sanitation department of your tissues.
Okay, so what happens when the sanitation department gets backed up?
Think about a city during a heat wave. If the garbage trucks stop running, the trash doesn't pile up perfectly evenly across every single street.
Right, it pools in certain alleys.
Exactly. It pools in specific dead zones. When our natural fluid flow gets sluggish, all that cellular waste, the dead matter, those stress signals, they pool in specific little pockets under the skin.
And the tissue around that pocket just has to deal with it.
It has to adapt. It walls off the toxic puddle. It literally builds a fibrous wall to lock the garbage away.
So the rubbery lump, you feel it's a locked room full of waste.
Yes.
That is so wild. And it totally breaks the biggest myth about these things.
That you only get them if you eat a lot of deep-fried food.
Yeah. Or that they only happen to people who carry extra weight. I mean, you hear fatty lump and you just assume it's from eating bad fat.
Which couldn't be further from the truth. The body doesn't just take the butter from your toast and shove it into your shoulder.
Right. And you see lean, super active people getting them all the time.
All the time. Roughly 1 in 100 adults get these, usually in their 40s and 50s.
I actually knew this guy, a total runner. Marathons, the whole deal. Lean as can be. And he found one on his upper back. He was so confused. He kept saying, I'm an athlete. This shouldn't be happening.
Because we mistake being fit for being healthy on the inside.
Exactly.
You can have great heart health from running, but still have a totally chaotic inner environment. Think about his life outside of running.
Well, he worked in finance, crazy hours, always looking at screens, always on edge.
And how did you sleep?
Terrible. 4 or 5 hours a night, and a lot of coffee to get through the day.
Yeah.
Maybe a few drinks at night to wind down.
So his body was living in a state of constant alarm.
High cortisol.
Right. Cortisol is the stress hormone. It releases quick energy so you can run from danger.
But he wasn't running from danger. He was sitting at a desk looking at numbers.
Exactly. So all that extra energy has nowhere to go. The body has to pump out huge amounts of insulin to shove that energy back into storage.
So even though he's thin, his insulin is acting like he's eating candy all day.
Yes. And chronic stress actually slows down the lymph fluid. It shuts down the waste clearing.
Wow. So he's stressing himself into a sanitation strike.
While dumping fertilizer on the stressed out cells.
That makes so much sense. But it also makes the normal medical advice feel so, I don't know, incomplete.
You mean just cutting it out?
Yeah, like
Oh.
if you just go to a surgeon and they snip the lump out, you feel like you fixed the problem. The lump is gone.
It feels like a fix.
Yeah.
But it's really just a Band-Aid.
It's like snipping the top off a weed but leaving the roots.
And leaving the toxic soil right there.
Yeah.
If you don't change the environment, the body's just going to keep doing what it knows how to do.
Which is build another quarantine zone.
Exactly. People get them removed, and 2 years later, 3 more pop up in the exact same spot.
Oh, that's so frustrating.
And the surgery itself causes trauma to the tissue, which brings more swelling and stress signals right back to that spot.
I guess some people are just born with a higher chance of making them though, right?
True. Genetics absolutely play a role. If your parents had a lot of these lumps, your body might just be wired to handle waste this way.
But the genetics don't act alone.
No. Genetics load the gun, but the environment pulls the trigger. Even if it runs in your family, how fast they grow still depends on how much stress and insulin your body is dealing with.
I had this other friend. She was a project manager, living on deadlines in pure panic. She had one removed from her arm, and then boom, a couple years later, one on her ribs, one on her shoulder.
Because she was still giving her body the same raw materials, the same stress, the same lack of sleep.
So if the lump is just a symptom of this perfect storm, the stress, the insulin, the stuck fluid, how do we actually change the weather?
We have to change the signals we send to ourselves. Gentle daily shifts.
Okay, let's break that down, because it sounds overwhelming when you're already tired.
It doesn't have to be. Let's start with the insulin and the swelling. It sounds so basic to say cut back on the heavy processed foods and extra sugar.
People hate hearing that.
I know, but you aren't doing it for weight loss. You are literally turning down the volume on the growth signals.
You cutting off the fertilizer.
Exactly. When you step away from the quick carbs, your insulin levels settle down. The cells get a chance to breathe.
What about alcohol? Because we use that to unwind when we're stressed.
It's a huge factor. The liver is the main hub for sorting fats and waste. If your liver is busy dealing with alcohol, it ignores the normal fat sorting.
So the fat just stays in the blood, gets oxidized, and causes more alarm bells.
Yes. And it ends up pooling in those slow lymph zones we talked about.
Okay, so we turn down the growth signals, but how do we unstick the waste system? How do we get the lymph moving again if we sit all day?
This is the coolest part. The lymph system does not have a pump.
Wait, like the heart pumps blood?
Right, the heart pumps blood automatically. But the lymph system has nothing. It only moves when you move.
So just standing at a standing desk isn't enough?
No, it needs mechanical squeezing. The muscles literally have to contract to push the fluid up against gravity.
Oh, I see.
Just 30 minutes of brisk walking or lightly bouncing on those little trampolines.
Rebounding.
Yes, rebounding is amazing for it. It physically forces the tiny valves to open and close.
That feels so doable. What about breathing? I feel like when I'm stressed, I barely breathe.
We all shallow breathe at screens, but deep, low breathing down into your belly, it creates a vacuum in your chest.
Like a siphon.
Exactly like a siphon.
Yeah.
It literally sucks the pooled waste fluid up from your tissues so your liver can finally filter it out.
It's crazy how much power we have just by taking a real breath and going for a walk.
It changes the whole internal landscape.
What about the cells themselves? Can we make them less likely to panic and build walls?
We can change the literal building blocks of the cell. Think about omega-3s.
Like from fish or walnuts?
Yes. Those healthy fats actually replace the rigid, stressed-out fats in the cell wall. They make the cell calmer, less reactive.
I love that. A calmer cell. What else helps calm them down?
Turmeric is wonderful. The golden compound inside it, curcumin,
Oh, I see golden milk everywhere now.
there is a reason for it. It sneaks right inside the cell and flips the master switch for swelling to the off position.
It just tells the cell to stop sounding the alarm.
Exactly. And we can't forget the gut.
Right. Gut health is connected to everything.
If the lining of your gut is weak, tiny bits of waste leak into your blood.
Leaky gut.
Yes, and that triggers a massive whole-body immune panic. Adding fermented foods, or bitter greens, helps seal that wall so the body can drop its guard.
And wrapping this all together, sleep. We have to talk about sleep.
We have to. It's the foundation.
Because we stay up late feeling guilty that we didn't do enough, so we scroll on our phones.
And anything under 6 hours of sleep fundamentally breaks how the body clears waste,
It keeps that cortisol high.
which keeps the insulin high. It's
Yeah.
an endless loop.
But you can break the loop. I mean, I know a woman, she was in her early 40s, had 3 of these lumps growing. She didn't want the surgery.
So what did she do?
She just focused on these exact gentle shifts. She finally put her sleep first. She walked every day to pump the fluid. She made the golden milk, cut the extra sugar.
She changed the signaling.
Yeah. And over a couple of years, the lumps completely stopped growing. And she never got a new one. Plus, her energy came back, her skin cleared up.
Because the whole body healed.
But I do want to make sure we are clear here. Doing this walking, eating walnuts, it doesn't just magically dissolve a lump that already has a thick wall around it.
Right. Once the wall is built, it's pretty locked in.
Right.
But you are stopping the machinery from building new ones. You are turning off the factory.
Which is huge.
It is. But we should also say, and this is important, if you find a lump, always, always have someone check it out to be safe.
Oh, absolutely.
Because while almost all of these are just normal, benign, fatty lumps, there are very rare cases where a serious growth can mimic them.
Right. If it's hard, or it hurts, or it's growing really fast.
Exactly. You don't try to treat that with turmeric. You get a doctor to make sure it's nothing serious first.
Always get the structural check first. But once they smile and say, you're fine, it's just a fatty lump, that's when the real work begins.
It's a total shift in how we see ourselves.
Yeah.
We spend so much time using diet and movement just to change how we look on the outside.
Or out of guilt.
Yes. But these choices are actually a language. They're the chemical signals you are sending to your cells.
Every walk you take, every deep breath.
Every time you choose to go to sleep instead of doom scrolling,
Yeah.
you are telling your tissues that they are safe.
You are telling them they don't need to build quarantine zones anymore.
Exactly.
It's so empowering to look at it this way. That random little lump isn't just bad luck. It's not just a flaw.
It's a warning light on your dashboard.
Telling you that your waste system is backed up or your stress is too high.
It is speaking to you.
And now you actually know how to speak back. You control the inputs.
It's all in your hands.
I want to leave you with one final thought today. We started by talking about the panic of finding that lump, the fear that your body made a mistake.
Right.
But if your body is smart enough to carefully gather up all that toxic waste and all those stress signals and safely lock them away in a quiet little pocket of fat just to protect your vital organs.
Just to keep you safe.
Yeah. What other quiet, invisible things is your body doing right now to protect you from the stress of this modern world?
That is such a beautiful perspective. The body is always on your side, even when the fix looks like a flaw.
Something to sit with the next time you brush your hand against your shoulder.
These thoughts, these questions, they don't have to stop here. Wellness Geeks has many more podcasts and videos just like this one. Subscribe to the channel and explore other episodes. They all flow the same gentle way. If this podcast felt genuinely useful to you, share it with even one person in your life. That one share can bring a real change in someone's life, and it helps Wellness Geeks reach more people who truly need this. If this brought you real value, look for the join button right next to the Wellness Geeks logo below this video. Click it and become a member of the Wellness Support Circle. Your support helps Honest Health Awareness reach thousands who are silently struggling. Wellness Geeks moves forward because of you. Thank you so much from the heart for being here.